Alright, tool groupies, tradesmen, do-it-yourselfers. Today we're checking out this heavy-duty 3-piece push-lock plier set with V-jaw design from Duratech tools, so let's get at it. Get started here, I do want you to know throughout this video I will be putting some pictures there on screen that'll go over some of the specifications regarding this tool set. I will also provide links in the description box below that'll take you directly to this tool set if you happen to want to purchase it. Now today we're going to go over some of the basic specifications of these tools, and I'm going to give you my initial first thoughts and impressions. Afterwards we will put these tools to the test in some real world repair scenarios. This 3-piece rapid adjust plier set consists of 8, 10, and 12-inch plier sizes. Model number DTPLPO3S. As you see here, it does come in this nice canvas storage pouch, so if you want to hang it on your shop wall you can do that. You want to roll it up, take it with you on the go for field service repairs, you can do that as well. Now many of you might already know this, but the most commonly used tool in the trades whenever it comes to pliers is going to be the straight jaw tongue and groove joint plier. The problem is these tools are no longer the most effective or efficient tools you can have, simply because they got this tongue and groove joint design right here. Yes, you can manually move them up and down, which is going to take you some time to do that, but it really depends on the name brand plier that you get as to how many grooves you got. The type of adjustment feature on the tool is going to be just as important as the jaw design itself. It takes you a little bit of time to do that. You're going to be spending some time making adjustments all day long. What you're looking at here today is a cobalt tongue groove joint plier. This hot rivet design running through the center of it. If this is weak steel at some point in time, that rivet's going to wear out. That means you're going to have a lot of jaw slop, and it's not going to be good, accurate fitment. If you pay attention to me squeezing on these handles right here, you're going to have a whole lot of flex in these handles, and that's something you don't want to see in a pair of pliers. The force that you're applying to these pliers are not getting distributed to the jaw the way they should be. That's going to impact the type of grip and fitment that you have. If you want a pair of pliers that's going to grip flat, square, hex shape, or round objects, you want yourself a V-jaw design. Exactly what we got here from Duratech. Problem is, if you know you got yourself a V-jaw plier, the next step is finding out what type of V-jaw you have and what type of adjustment feature goes with that V-jaw. Because there's a lot of different options out here for you to choose from, and not all of them is going to be good. For an example, this is a tongue and groove joint V-jaw plier. Same problems that we had with the other one. They're designed that way, so ultimately you'll be able to fit around different types of objects. If you squeeze down on it, it lets this handle bounce up and down. That way you can get good fitment. Problem is, it's not going to allow you to get nice tight fitment. That's when you need an adjustment feature with a little bit more precision to it. Standard flat jaw tongue and groove joint plier, you're only going to get 2 points of contact on the top and the bottom. And even when you get those 2 points of contact, it doesn't mean you're going to get the best fitment possible, as you can see right here. Applying all that force to this, and whenever you start to torque down on it, teeth are going to be digging straight into this union. And if this union's on there nice and tight, chances are these pliers are going to end up slipping, which means you're going to end up damaging the union itself, or you're going to damage the teeth on the tool. Now we put these V-jaw pliers on here, and you got different points of contact. Going to fit right here on the bottom, right here on the top, right here on the side. This particular set of pliers is still not giving us the best possible fitment for this job. We move on to this style of plier. Adjustment features on this has a bunch of holes milled into the side of it. Time you want to adjust the jaw capacity on these, you got to raise that handle up between those holes and turn it around. The problem is you're going to get locked in right here. It's not always going to go exactly where you need it at. It's going to get hemmed up from time to time. And that's really aggravating to deal with. Jaw design on these are different than the previous one. And here's the type of fitment that they're going to give you on this union. Once again, got 2 points of contact. You got it on the top left-hand side, the bottom right-hand side. It's going to dig into this union and allow you to grip it nice and tight, but it's still not the best possible fitment we can have. With this pair of pliers, we do got the quick adjust button. It makes moving this jaw up and down nice and fast. Teeth for the quick release assembly on this is in the front and the back on the interior of the upper jaw here. The problem with this one is the jaw design itself. It's one of the worst types of jaw designs that you can possibly have. The V-jaw design on these has different types of angles than the other pliers. Flat on the right, teeth on the left. On the bottom, it's flat on the left, teeth on the right. Because of the angle of the flat surface, whenever you go to apply torque on these, it's actually going to push the pliers up off the union. So you're not going to get a good grip at all. Third one, groove locks here are different than the previous 4. Also got a quick release feature. All you got to do is slide it up and down. You can even push up on the handle if you want to. The jaw design on it's also different. It doesn't have any teeth on the front or the interior here, but if you flip it over on the back, it's got the teeth angular upward on the back side. This pair of pliers does have good fitment. You got 3 solid points of contact on the one. Top left, and the entire bottom jaw wraps around this union here. This is a really good design, and it will do great in a lot of different situations. If you're having to apply an obscene amount of force on the plier handles to get those jaws to crimp down, the teeth are angular, so it's going to dig into the side of the union here and to the side of the union here. Hold the pliers nice and tight to get them to hold that grip. So they're actually working in the direction that you need them to go in. Working for you instead of against you. But still yet, the Duratech I think has them beat. See, these Duratech pliers are totally different than the previous ones you've seen so far. They don't have teeth on the front, they don't have teeth on the back, they don't have teeth on the interior of both sides. They do got angular teeth on the interior of the front side here. What you do is take this quick release button, depress it, open the jaws wide up. If you want to adjust it forward, boom, right there you go. It's that simple. Not only that, but whenever you raise this jaw down, if you want to grab it by the rear handle itself, all you got to do is turn the pliers upright and it will shut the jaws all on its own. There'll be certain situations you get into where it's definitely going to be beneficial. If you're in a nice tight confined space, you're working with one hand, you're trying to get a job done, all you got to do is depress on that quick release button, push down on that handle right there, and it'll open the jaws all the way up. Get into a situation like this, all you got to do is take the top half of that V-jaw, get around the object that you're working with, get your hand choked up here, and then you can easily adjust this jaw by pushing down on that with 2 different fingers. Right there you go. It's the jaw up against the pipe like I want it to be. The V-jaw design itself is what we need to check out. The V-jaw design is different than all the ones you've seen so far. When I set our union up, all you got to do is take it and place it around the top side right there, push up on the handle. And right there you go, automatic adjustment. See, I've clearly got a good grip on this union. The top half of the jaw is similar to what the Irwin is. Got that V-jaw design. The left side of the jaw has angular teeth facing toward the right. Right side's nice and smooth. On the lower half here, you don't got that mirror image jaw like you did with the Irwin. Instead, it's got this big hump right here with serrated teeth all the way down it. Regardless of what type of angle that you get on this union here, you're gonna have teeth that are physically digging into the bottom side of it. Whenever you're applying some decent force to this, top half of these angular teeth is gonna be digging into the side of the union. Bottom half's gonna be digging into the side and upward into the union. If it's on there nice and tight and you gotta apply a lot of force to this, you ain't gotta worry about it because it's gonna dig in nice and tight. Great thing is, it's really easy to adjust. You wanna change your fitment on it because of these angular teeth on the interior right here that work with the rapid adjust. All you gotta do is barely push up on it and right there you go. You can easily make that adjustment. What I said earlier about cheap quality tools. All you gotta do is test the handles whenever you buy a pair of pliers, because if they're cheap, they're gonna have some flex in the handles, and these right here are nice and solid. Squeeze on these things and they're not going nowhere. They ain't a bit of flex in them. The cheap pair of pliers, whenever you're squeezing down on the handles and they're flexing on you, you're essentially gonna be losing some of that force and you're gonna be wearing your hand out, causing a bunch of hand fatigue that you didn't need to do. If you're someone who has arthritis, that's gonna wear you out real quick. Pliers like these from Duratech, you can squeeze down on this handle and all that force that you're applying on these handles is gonna be transferred to that jaw right there, giving you the best grip possible. But that, this rapid adjust feature is gonna operate on these angular teeth right here, giving you precision adjustments. Said regardless of what you work on, whether it's hex-shaped, round, flat, square, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to make nice, quick, adequate adjustments to anything you work with. A lot of people might ask themselves, are these pliers practical for what you're doing? If you're a tradesman and you're using tools day in and day out, you want to make sure they're going to do everything you need them to do. Now, whenever it comes down to it, the one thing that people might be concerned about is the fact that these do have that rapid adjust feature. You got to do, like I said, is raise up on this back handle right here and it'll automatically adjust itself closed. That's something that a lot of people might be concerned about, but I have already taken these tools and I've tested them out in a variety of different circumstances so far. By no means is going to be my after action performance review. This is just my initial first impressions on these tools. I'll tell you this much, it's not that bad. Anytime I've used these so far, they have fit nice and comfortably in the hand. If you learn how to hold them right, they're not going to give you a bit of problem. These are forged in China from chrome vanadium alloy steel with a black electrophoretic coating. They have been heat treated and they are corrosion resistant, so you ain't got to worry about these things rusting up after a few weeks of using them. The serrated teeth are nice and hard. That's something you don't want to see, is cheap quality tools and then you get out here in the field, you're using them for a few weeks, next thing you know, you ain't got good teeth. If you ain't got good teeth, you're not going to have good grip. Then you're going to have to compensate for the dull teeth by applying way more force to the handles than what you needed to. So far, these things have been holding up good for the test that I put them in. People actually prefer this type of jaw design above the other. And the best way to describe what I'm talking about is by putting the pliers right beside of them that they best replicate. Now, by no means is Duratech trying to clone the Knipex Cobra, but they do have a similar jaw design to the Knipex Cobra. Anybody who has used Knipex knows exactly how well these things perform, but you're getting that same type of grip, nice precision adjustment with this plier set right here. And I do like the comfort grip handles on these. They do have double dip non-slip ergonomic comfort grips, black on blue design. Look at the way the handles are designed here. You got a hump up top, tapers down on the bottom, and right here it kind of tapers upward as you go down. Basically designed to where it fits right here in the palm of your hand, and your fingers will wrap around that lower handle nice and comfortably. You're going to feel really good in the hands when you're using them. Jaw opens up nice and fast, adjusts nice and fast. That rapid adjust quick release assembly is really good. Combine all that with the overall tool features itself, such as the quick release button for that rapid jaw adjustment, Cobra style design in the V-jaw itself. There's some pretty solid pliers for what you're paying for. Another interesting fact I want to point out, besides the Knipex Cobra, these Duratech pliers are pretty similar to what the DeWalt version is. I'm going to go over the comparison with the DeWalt here today because we will be having a side-by-side comparison video coming up in the near future. But I can tell you this much, they're not a rebrand of the DeWalt. DeWalt has different features on its tool that makes it different than the Duratech, such as these long straight handles right here that's not going to be nearly as comfortable in your hand as the Duratech is. And the fact that you're going to pay about $25 for this one 12-inch plier, pay about $33 for this 3-piece plier set from Duratech. The reason they can give you some decent quality tools at a rock bottom price is because they cut out the middleman. That's basically what Harbor Freight does. They can provide you a good quality tool for a reasonable price because they cut out the middleman. They go directly for the manufacturer themselves. Duratech is an import-export tool company. They do the exact same thing. They go directly to the manufacturer and have the tools made that they want in their tool line. But instead of them having a physical store for you to walk into, they got a digital store on Amazon for you to check out. One more thing to note, whenever they first released this plier set here, as you see there on screen, they had what was called a trigger lock feature. Fortunately, it had a 2.4 star rating and a lot of people had issues with those pliers. So what did Duratech do? They instantly corrected the problem by putting in this rapid adjust button instead. This tells me that they actually care about the type of tools that they're producing, the quality that they're producing, and they're listening to their customer. And that's definitely something you want to see in a tool company. There's one more thing I want to mention here, and that's the overall jaw capacity on these whenever it comes down to it. These do have a 35% wider jaw capacity than a traditional plier. You open the jaws all the way up and then close the handles together. Here's the maximum jaw capacity for each one of them. The 8-inch is 40.1 millimeter, the 10-inch is 53.2, and the 12-inch is 63.1 millimeter. So that's a whole lot of objects you can fit in between the jaws on these pliers. Where it comes down to it, the 8 and the 10-inch versions are going to be the most commonly used pliers of the batch. The 10-inch is going to be your primary go-to, the one you use on a daily basis to do the bulk of your job. If you need something for tight confined spaces, that's when this 8-inch is going to come in handy because it is smaller and it's going to fit in areas that the other ones won't. The other day I took the big 12-inch here out in the field to do some work. I ended up getting into some plumbing jobs. I had the CHANNELLOCK 460s with me and the Duratech 12-inch. 460s was able to grip and apply a whole lot of leverage, but it wasn't able to break those pipes loose like I wanted them to. Slapped the Duratech on here, that V-jaw design wrapped right around that cast iron and pulled them off no problem at all. One of those situations I want to hear from you because these are a brand new release tool from Duratech Tools. Like I said, check out the description box below because I will provide some links down there. Someone who who has these tools. Comment down below. Let us know your thoughts and opinions on these based off your real world experience. If you want to see these tools tested in the trade, all you got to do is pop the collection, that subscribe button, follow on all these social media platforms. I will be testing them in the trade side by side with some of the other pliers that you see here today. Then I'll return later on with an after action performance review. Plus, we're going to be having a comparison video coming up. I just want to thank you all for watching, and until next time, I'm going to grab these tools, go test them in the trades, and keep doing that blue collar hustle.